Good morning, friends. The preservation of statutory records for any organization, whether it's an NGO or business enterprise, has always been a challenge. Huge number of files, shortage of space, unorganized record keeping, and some of the other key challenges always exists when it comes to preserving the documents and records. Also, most of the organizations are still unaware of the mandatory timelines for which such statutory records are required to be kept. We have been asked a number of times from various NGOs across the country regarding the number of years for which it's mandatory to preserve the financial records. Some even ask whether original hard copy documents are required to be kept or a digitized scan copy is enough. So today in this video, I have covered the time limits for preservation of records as laid down in various statutory acts. Though some of the acts might not be directly related to NGOs, but to understand the common intent of the legislation regarding preservation of records, it's necessary to have a larger sample. Let's check them out one by one. So first, let's check out Companies Act 2013, which will cover Section 8 companies. So the Memorandum and Articles of Association, the Certificate of Incorporation, the Certificate of Commencement of Business, Register and Index of Members, agreements made by the company with stock exchanges, depositories, etc., minutes book of board meetings and general meetings, statutory registers like charges, contract, investment and many more have to be kept permanently as per the Companies Act 2013. The books of accounts and the vouchers has to be preserved for 8 years immediately preceding the current year. The books and papers of amalgamated or transferor company has to be disposed of only after prior approval of the central government. The register of deposits, if any, has to be maintained and preserved till 8 calendar years from the financial year in which the latest entry was made in the register. The register and index of debenture holders has to be maintained from 15 years from the date of redemption of debentures. And at last, the copies of annual returns, certificates and documents annexed thereto, which is filed with the Register of Companies, has to be preserved for 8 years from the date of their filing with ROC. I repeat, the copies of annual returns, certificates and documents annexed thereto, which is filed with the Register of Companies, has to be preserved for 8 years from the date of such filing. Next comes the Income Tax Act. Specified records which is mentioned in the Income Tax Act, such as the related income tax records of Form 10B, or it is the income tax returns or the acknowledgements and the tax audit reports, has to be preserved for 6 years from the end of the relevant assessment year. I repeat, 6 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, that is for a total period of 8 previous years. Then comes the transfer pricing documents, which has to be again preserved for 8 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, which means it has to be preserved for a total period of 10 years. Then other necessary records and information related to any income in relation of any asset located outside India has to be preserved for 16 years from the end of the relevant assessment years. Then comes the goods and service tax. So the books and records which will have any impact of goods and service tax has to be maintained for 6 years from the last date of filing of annual return. Then comes the decision which is given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the auditors of the companies or the trusts or the societies, that they have to maintain the audit related documentations and online correspondences and other papers related to the clients for a period of 10 years. Then comes the limited liability partnership, which is in short known as LLP. Appropriate books of accounts and accounting records which are sufficient to show and explain the transactions of the LLP has to be preserved for 8 years from the date in respect of which such records pertain. Next comes the documents required to be preserved as per the NBFC directions, non-banking financial company. The register of deposits for each branch and a consolidated register has to be preserved for 8 calendar years following the financial year in which the latest repayment or renewal entry was made in the register, and the other records related to the transactions of such non-banking financial company has to be preserved for 10 years from the date of cessation of the transaction between such non-banking financial company and the client. Coming to central excise, the books of accounts, the source documents and the data in any electronic media has to be preserved for 5 years immediately after the financial year to which such records pertain. Moving on to Maharashtra value added tax, all the books of accounts, register and other documents pertaining to stocks, purchases, dispatches, delivery of goods, payments made and receipts towards sale or purchase of goods has to be preserved for 8 years from the expiry of the year to which they relate. Coming to Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the records of transactions between the reporting entities and the client has to be preserved for 10 years from the date of transaction. Moving on to the Bombay Public Trust Act, the cash book, bank book, journals, vouchers, the list of movable properties has to be preserved for 12 years. So all the NGOs which are registered in Maharashtra or Gujarat to whom Bombay Public Trust Act is applicable, they have to maintain and preserve the cash book, bank book, journals, vouchers, the list of movable properties up to a period of 12 years, and the inward and outward register, the records of the meetings and agenda has to be preserved for 7 years. Coming to Real Estate Regulatory Authority, the books of accounts, records and documents have to be preserved for a period of 6 years. Last but not the least, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So the documents, the books of accounts and the specified registers under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 has to be preserved for 8 years from the date of dissolution. Now you must be thinking, why I have not covered the trust, the Indian Trust Act and the Societies Act 1860. So these two acts does not specify a period for preservation of records, and so we have not covered the same in our video. So a common inference can be drawn after knowing the timelines under various statutory regulations that the retention period of records varies between 5 years and 15 years. Some are to be kept even for lifelong. Now let's move on to the other part of the discussion, whether a hard copy of such records need to be kept or a digitized copy is enough. There is no clarity on this, as nothing has been specifically mentioned anywhere in any of the acts regarding the manner in which such records need to be kept. However, if interpretation needs to be taken out from the language and intention of such laws, prima facie we would go for retaining the hard copies. But in this era of technology, where almost all the statutory departments have gone online now and are accepting the scanned documents for verification and assessment, it seems gradually there might be no requirement for preserving the hard copy records, especially the accounting, taxation and the ROC records. You can keep all the related records in a digitized form properly organized in a manner that the necessary documents can be traced and extracted whenever required. To know more why digitizing your records is all the more important now and how you can do it, keep tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel. As I said in my previous video that we are coming up with an updated version of our website, I am happy to announce the launch of our new website. I would request all my viewers and subscribers to visit our website for more useful resource materials that we will gradually be updating on it. Thank you.